want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. You mentioned the other day that the Apostle John died on the island of Patmos. If he died there, and I'm not disputing that he didn't, how did the book of Revelation get off the island? Well, that is actually a really good question, because it is on the island of Patmos that whom we know as the Apostle John has this incredible vision where God commands him to write down that which he saw of the past, the present, and the future. And we know that he did so. But the question is, how did we get it? Well, the island of Patmos back in the late 1st century was a place that the Roman ruler Domitian utilized to take prisoners to, quote, spend their last days. So there would have been a constant flux of passengers, personnel, etc. It wasn't just a single island for a single individual known as the Apostle John. Now, what does this mean? Well, let me use a somewhat contemporary example and place it upon the 1st century. One of my, quote, heroes of the faith was a Chinese believer by the name of Watchman Nee. Watchman Nee died in 1972 while being a prisoner for his faith in, quote, communist China. And if you look at his life, particularly the latter years, one of the things he did, he actually pastored, listen to this, he pastored a local church for 6 years from prison. Because there were those that were on the inside. There were those that were a part of the, quote, judicial system that believed in him and would sneak his letters out to the church. There were times where he would win those that were supposed to be incarcerating him to the Lord, and he was known to do Bible study in the foyer of the penitentiary and then go spend the night in his cell. Now, the reason I use that illustration is nobody would ever believe that within a communist China regime that, quote, letters could get out on behalf of the gospel. That being said, I think it's reasonable to take that same metric, place it on the 1st century, and say whether it was those that were a part of Domitian's system, traveling prisoners back and forth, or maybe others, we know that we have the book of Revelation. We know it is profitable, it is edifying, it is encouraging, it's to exhort us, it's to convict us. We also know that God used somebody to get it off the island. Great question. If you have one, send it to AskJeff.net, and maybe your question will be tomorrow. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.